DNJ Crypto. All right, this is our primary DNJ Crypto video. We don't know what we're going to do or talk about.
This is the pilot.
And so hopefully this becomes enjoyable.
This, welcome to DNJ Crypto. This is our podcast video.
That's the D, and I'm the J.
He's the J.
I'm the N.
And this is Simon.
So our goal is to talk about crypto and absolutely anything else, depending on what we've been drinking. And there might be some sponsors one day, hopefully.
Sponsors.
We like bourbon, specifically good and
Expensive.
bourbon.
Yeah. So
In tall, skinny bottles.
here later, we're going to be sampling some different bourbons while we're discussing crypto.
Yeah, because I mean, obviously, what's better to talk about than a round of Old Saint Nick?
Very old Saint.
All right.
So, hey, Jay, what's crypto?
Hey, Jay.
What's cryptocurrency?
So honestly, I just got into it yesterday. So
So FOMO in the
right.
next biggest hot
right.
coin.
So basically, what I know about this is that it's fun to spell.
Mm.
So I like to make a little loop on the Y.
Oh, yeah.
On the CRY.
Yeah.
So.
It makes it seem so much more attainable when you do that.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So cryptocurrency is a currency that is on the blockchain. So the draw of it is the decentralization. So we all think of a bank being a specific bank that has kind of the money, or a Federal Reserve is centralized. So that's where kind of all the money is, where the cryptocurrency is spread across nodes. And some cryptocurrencies have more centralization because there's fewer nodes, or more one person owns most of that currency. So the nice thing about crypto is it's very decentralized. So it's very hard to kind of ban and shut down. China's tried a bunch, but it's not doing too well, just simply because multiple different nodes and multiple different computers have the blockchain on it. So it allows, not necessarily anonymous trades, because you still know the wallets. It's so decentralized. It's kind of the government's not controlling it. And that's a big thing, because it's a hedge against inflation, because the government can just print so much more money, and then we have more money, but the more money we have, we end up in an area like Venezuela that your $1 bill is literally $1 million, and it's worth about 2 cents. So crypto is a hedge against inflation, because they can't print more. It's a finite amount, and it just goes down. A lot of them are deflationary as well.
So you guys are the tech guys.
I know some computer things.
Could you guys explain what the blockchain is and nodes? I saw you throw those, and that was like really great. But
There were some big words in there.
Yeah, there
Yeah.
were.
I'm
So
sorry.
no, it's okay. That's why the non-nerd, I'm a nerd, but the non-tech guy, because I'm not really into. I know about the technology, but you really know about the technology.
I mean, I'm okay.
No more than I.
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
So blockchain, I think that a really good way to describe the blockchain is pretty similar to how, like, if you go and buy something at the store, there's a process that happens when you scan that card, right? So when you scan that card, there's some verification that has to happen. It sends a message to your bank, and it's like, hey, Dan wants to go buy this energy drink. Does Dan have the money for this? So the blockchain is kind of symbolizing the area in between all of that. Now, what mining helps with is where we help to hash that out, because there's no central bank.
Right, that's the
within
important
mining.
part. It's not one person doing it.
Yes.
The overall, all the miners.
So the more miners we get in there, even if you're not mining huge hash rates, it decentralizes it even more. So there's not one person who can just say, oh, no, never mind, my wallet has this much. There's a backlogging that multiple computers have that say, yes, Dan has this. Yes, Dan has this. Dan had this the other day. So yes. So I think that's an easier way to understand the blockchain. What kind of ideas do you have on that?
I would just call it a ledger.
Yeah.
So basically, every transaction that happens gets written down, and it just keeps adding to the ledger. So every single transaction is saved on the blockchain. So you can see every original transaction back, in 2012, in 2010, and all the white papers. So you can see those transactions from the beginning because they're still in the blockchain.
Right.
And so the actual nodes and the computers and the miners, basically they solve an algorithm to prove that that is a legitimate transaction, and that algorithm being solved is a very difficult, and it gets more and more difficult the bigger the blockchain gets.
Right.
And the more miners there are, it gets more and more difficult to do that. And so then once that's approved, then it gets written in the ledger.
And the miners get rewards.
Right.
Right. They get rewards in the currency
Mhm.
that they're
Yeah. So every time a block is solved, then that you get X amount of whatever coin it is in as reward. And so if it took 100 miners to solve that block and it was a 1 coin, then you get 1/100th of a coin each miner.
Right. No, I think that's a really good point, because I've talked to so many people and they're like, wait a minute, do they actually mine this stuff? What does that mean? Is it a metaphor? And in some ways it kind of is, but it's the people who are basically saying, yes, this is real. Yes, this is real. They're helping run the decentralized system, and those are the miners. So, because that is a question I've gotten. Yeah. What are miners? Right. What does that mean to mine? And I think that's super important. That clears a lot up.
It's almost like the old switchboard operators back before all of us were born.
That's actually really
I've seen it on TV.
Yeah.
You know, where they when you want to make a call from 1 to 3, they take this and plug this. So the miner, that's the miner.
Yep.
They're ensuring that, so that person's getting paid hourly. Yep. Miners, same thing.
And anybody can do that.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody, if you have the cards, the graphic cards, or whatever. We were talking about that earlier.
Right. Mm-hmm. So the thing is like each type of cryptocurrency, if it's a proof of work cryptocurrency, what that means is that you prove the work by solving an algorithm. They are mined with computers. Some use a CPU miner, some use a hard drive miner, some like Helium use a Wi-Fi miner. Ethereum uses graphics cards mostly. Bitcoin uses ASICs now. So there's lots of different ways to get into mining. Obviously back in the day it was super easy with anything. Now it's very, very specialized in certain more popular cryptocurrencies.
Yeah, I mean, I think the big thing is that you see YouTube, like you look up on YouTube all the miners, and like these people have got like garages full of machines, and so it's kind of intimidating when you first get into it, because you're like, this is going to be a lot of money, and it can be. Like, you can drop big money on this stuff.
Yeah.
But if you have an appreciation for the idea of the blockchain and decentralization, anyone can get in on it a little bit, and any little extension of verification is better.
Right.
From my understanding of this, I feel like that's good. So, like, you don't need to have like a mega computer. Like, even if you just have something little, you can run these things. You won't do it as efficiently.
Not make a ton of money, but
no, it's like
it's a building process, and it's about believing in the tech. I think that's the big thing.
And if you already have the technology, like if you already have the computer, not do it. So if you're at work, you mine when you're at work, and you're not on it, and then you go back to gaming at night or whatever. Yeah. You've got a little bit of passive income.
Exactly.
When you were not going to be using the computer anyway.
Passive income, that's the dream.
Right. So I mean, you're going to make maybe $1 a week or $5 a week or $10 a week or whatever, enough to pay off a little bit. So I mean, but you already have the equipment, so you don't have to make the investment.
But the cool thing about that is also you're getting a cryptocurrency that also has a possibility of appreciating in value. So a lot of people think, oh man, especially with the Helium, oh man, I'm not making that much, but you're bringing it in, and if nothing else, it's maybe the thing that'll beat the inflation rate. Your bank is not going to. We all know that. So it's the thing that's going to keep up with that. Even if you're not making a daily wage, it's helping you stay up with the inflation rate. And then in the future, if that crypto decides to blow up and get popular, that could turn into even more. And then there's also, there's proof of work, and then there's proof of stake. And that's a whole nother conversation, whereas you really don't need your own technology unless you're running your own node.
Right.
And you can stake your crypto, and you can gain rewards in that way. So that's another kind of mining.
Right.
A passive income, but we can get into that later.
That's an advanced topic.
Yeah, that one is a different backdrop topic.
It is.
I think that I think we're all really passionate about cryptocurrency. I mean, as silly as that might sound, because it's like, oh, you're passionate about money that's fake. And it's like,
it's the idea of decentralizing things. The idea of taking the power back. It's the idea of I think it's the decentralization that really excites a lot of us.
Mhm.
And the fact that it's new.
Mhm.
It's new, and I look at it, it's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
It's not going anywhere. You look at the people who are investing in it, you look at the technology behind it, it is going to be very vital in the future, no matter in one form or another.
Mhm.
Now there may be projects that rise and fall, but this technology is here to stay.
Yeah.
And
I mean, just look at the .com, right?
Yes.
You know, there was so many companies that made so much money and then they all disappeared. But some, Amazon survived, Facebook survived,
Yes.
MySpace kind of survived, is making a run for its money now. They're kind of rebranding to come back.
Pinterest is trying to.
Yeah, Pinterest.
I've seen all those ads.
So I mean, that's the same thing, and
Yep.
it's not necessarily fake money. I mean, it's as real as your credit card money. Like anytime you put in the bank, yeah, it's technically there. You can draw it out at any point, as long as you have a coin that has liquidity.
Right.
Now, if you buy any of these meme coins or bleep coins, they may not have any liquidity. So you might be a quadrillionaire of some bleep coin, but you cannot pull anything out because there actually is no liquidity.
Do your research, and obviously that's why we're here. To
None of this
help.
is financial advice.
No, none.
Not at all.
Do
This is
your
just
own
us
research.
discussing things that we're interested
We
in.
don't know anything.
We don't even know the word financial, what it means, so we
No.
cannot get advice on
No,
it.
we're probably all going to lose our money tomorrow. Be on
Maybe.
the streets,
I actually already lost it all,
Oh, okay.
But here we are.
but I still like it.
I feel like cryptocurrency, some people might not agree with this, but I think that crypto is such really a traditional American idea.
Yes.
Like I really feel like that, from
America.
So from the beginning, I feel like America's idea was so much of self-governing and not so much being controlled by a central thing. We talk about the Boston Tea Party.
Yeah, teach us.
Yeah, so
Teacher Dan.
right. So the Boston Tea Party
I have a question.
was Simon.
No, just go on.
Very well.
That's annoying.
So so we look at the Boston Tea Party, right? Where people got tired of being taxed too much for their tea. And so that's where America
I'm okay with it. I
What
don't
is
like tea.
tax?
what
I don't like tea.
What is tax?
what is tax?
Yeah, what is tax?
Well, it is
Theft.
a charge, theft, yeah, perhaps.
Yeah.
It is a charge that is put on people because we know there are certain things that if we want to live in an organized society,
right.
like there have to be some funds.
Are you sure?
I think so.
For
He
about
said there
100
has to be
years,
some fun.
maybe 50 years of this country, there were roads and everything centralized with no taxes.
No taxes.
No taxes
but,
whatsoever.
But did we grow out of it because people wanted to have things right here?
The
right
first
now,
taxes
right
came
there?
in, said, hey, this is a the first taxes.
Oh yes,
were
income
temporary.
tax. Income tax.
Income tax was supposed to be temporary,
Was
and it's
that
gone.
World
now.
War II or one? That was
don't know.
two.
I'm not
Because
a
we
good
weren't
history
really
major.
involved in one until later on we helped. So I believe that was during.
But yeah,
two.
no, roads were built. Everything infrastructure was built with no taxes at all, and it's because of community.
Mhm.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
everybody was,
Well, people worked. Everybody helped.
right. And if they could, obviously, some people can't work, but like
Right.
that's the thing is like the community was a community. I feel like once the cities started getting so big,
Mhm.
there's no community. They don't know their neighbors, so they
Yes.
do not care
Yeah.
about their neighbors.
And then I mean,
That's true.
obviously we are on a platform of social media, but I feel like the social media has kind of drawn people apart
Mhm.
even further
Mhm.
and made it even harder for us to actually know people in the community. And you're right,
Yeah.
it's community that did it. But I feel like now we live in an era of we need this now, convenience. I
Mm.
feel like you can't have both what we had and the
Mhm.
convenience we have now.
Mm.
You can't have your cake and eat it too. I feel like that's kind of it's a weird catch-22.
Mm.
Whereas I can't say myself, I'm not trying to preach, but I like the convenience.
Yeah.
But I also like what we had back then. So it's
Sure.
like,
I mean,
can
the
you have
convenience,
both?
you know it because you know it.
Exactly.
If you didn't know it, you wouldn't necessarily desire
Go
it.
hunt for
Mm.
your own dinner, buddy.
No,
Yeah.
it's not even that.
I'm
So,
just kidding.
because you had the general store, you had
Right.
general stores, you had bars and distilleries before the whole prohibition
But we have-
BS,
yeah,
and
but we have, well, man, that prohibition, that's another conversation. That was
Yeah.
a crazy time.
right.
We talk about freedom. You can't have alcohol
Right.
for
Yeah.
how long did that last?
I don't know, too long.
Oh my.
I think that we get this idea in America that everything is about freedom, and freedom's a wonderful thing.
Let freedom ring.
But I think if we use the debating concept reductio ad absurdum, right? Like we take freedom to the furthest extent possible. It's really not the best thing for communities, because like if I'm just walking around and I'm like, oh, Simon's in my way, and I just take him out, not okay,
No.
right? And that's like full freedom's not okay.
With great power comes great responsibility.
S-
I'm
Mm.
playing saxophone, doing my day job.
Yeah,
Music as a day job. That's kind of
Yeah.
and I think that's the thing
Crypto's
with
my hobby. Music's my day job.
that's the thing with crypto too. I think that we need to talk about is I don't think that up front it's a great idea to give up everything and go
No.
into crypto as your
Oh.
career. You know,
I've
That's
seen
not a good smart in many other
more
places.
and more people that put their life savings in
Don't.
crypto.
And
Mhm.
in
And
meme
that's-
coins too.
That's just you're gonna get hurt. It's just like the stock market.
And don't
You
leverage. Sorry,
you don't
that's just my
pick-
opinion. Don't
yeah.
leverage in crypto. It's too fast moving. You're gonna lose
Mhm.
your house.
But if you want to take your retirement into one single stock, you might hit an Amazon or a Tesla, or you might hit, any of the other stocks that look good and then just crash out and die. So that's the same thing.
Yeah.
You in the stock market, nobody would, in general, pick one single stock that you invest for your future in. Like your retirement account is not one single stock.
I think it's good to have
It's a
conviction.
portfolio.
Though. It's good to have conviction,
Sure.
but it's all about risk management. Any investment in this space is risk management because
Mhm.
everything is a risk.
Mm.
Anything
I'm not
in
gonna
this-
lie, it's all about luck sometimes.
Yeah, it is.
Mm.
I mean,
In crypto, it's better to
be.
be lucky than good.
It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's some projects that don't make any sense conceptually that just blow off the
Mm.
top.
Well, it all depends on what your time frames are too. Like
Sure,
if
but
you're-
they have
yeah.
no use, real world
Oh,
use, and then
definitely.
it's 80,000%.
That's
Like,
because of social media. I feel like
Sure.
people
I
pump
mean,
it up and they're like,
yeah, but
and hope a lot of those are rug pulls, and you never know. Like it's just like you got to be careful with that stuff. But then again, kudos to everyone who does it because you can't be mad at that.
Mm.
right?
You
No,
know,
like
that's-
exactly. If you made
that's some great gains. that people
$10
make
million
from it.
and you were able to get the liquidity out of it,
If you can.
Uncle Sam's going to get about 300,000 of it, but
Unless you're like, what was that Dogecoin guy out there who made millions off of it? And he's like, I'm holding on. I mean, yeah, maybe it might go up, but you got to be able to take your gains
Right.
too.
Mm.
Have a plan. I think it's
So
This
okay,
has gone
so crypto
crazy.
world,
yes.
crypto recenter, So-
DNJCrypto.com.
DNJCrypto.com or .io if you're feeling
Or
great.
I made the main the .com, so everything points to .com because
Sweet.
we're trying to be inclusive to everybody,
Mhm.
and most everybody knows the .coms,
Yes.
and most nerds and crypto people know the .ios.
Yeah.
So that's kind of what
what does
the
IO stand for?
it's actually a country code.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So you know how like .uk and .eu
Yeah.
and .australia, whatever it is.
What-
IO is some random small country,
Really?
and somehow it
Wow.
got adopted into the into the tech world, and so now it's a recognized because it's a top level code just like
Right.
.com .eu and all that
Oh yeah, I've seen it.
because of the country,
Yeah.
but now it's recognized as a tech code as well.
Wow.
I don't remember the country name, I'm not gonna lie. Starts with an I.
I'm gonna guess it starts with an I, and there's probably
Wait,
an O in there.
Let's see what Google says.
OH.
So
IO.
So yeah, DNJCrypto.com. That's the project that we're going through. As we said before, I'm D, he's J, Dan,
I'm
Jason.
the J.
Yeah.
And whoever's in the middle of the
And this is Simon. He's our guest today. So our whole idea with this is, one, we're really passionate about cryptocurrency. We think it's interesting, and we want other people to know how to have fun with it.
It's for the British Indian Ocean Territory.
Wow.
Huh.
Good for them.
That's from Wikipedia.com.
You know it's true then. Speaking of
Work
DNJCrypto.com.
smart.
.com.
DNJ.
So, okay, so we like crypto. So we are also producing an NFT here soon.
What is an NFT?
That
Daniel?
is such a good question.
What does it stand
So
for?
that it's N, non, F, fungible, T, token.
I like
Is
fudge.
it like fungus?
No,
Yeah, I thought it was
not
fudge.
at all.
It's like a fudge
Fun-
ice
So-
cream cone?
Funky?
So up here, you can see that I have Starry Night
Oh.
by Van Gogh.
Painted by
That
Van
is
Gogh
not
specifically.
the actual painting that Van Gogh did.
It's a
Now,
replica. It's a replica.
replica. So it's a copy of it.
There's a ghost.
Oh my.
So what an NFT is it's something that is minted. The big popular thing right now is pictures or art. Those are the big things. So we'll use art because it's easier to just depict.
Conceptually
Right.
imagine.
Yeah.
And then
So-
mostly on the Ethereum blockchain at this point,
Yeah,
most well known.
right. But you can
Solana
do it
is
on
the second
Solana,
blockchain.
Cardano, Harmony.
And could you explain?
Solana and Ethereum are the biggest
Yes.
ones.
Gotcha.
Yes.
So-
I mean, a lot of them have the option.
So anyway, so NFT.
Asterisks.
So this picture by Van Gogh, Starry Night, beautiful picture. but obviously it's not the real one, right?
It's fake.
Now with
He looks
with
like he had mental
paintings
disorder.
and with art in the real world, like in the tangible world, we have
Not fungible, but
certificate
tangible.
of authenticity,
Yes.
right?
Yep.
So like if I were to buy the real Van Gogh, it would come with something verifying that this is Van Gogh's work. Like
Yeah.
he did this. So in the NFT world, we mint things, right? So we're going to be producing an NFT called MetaMoose. Now MetaMoose it's an image that we're producing. It's very randomized. We can get into these things later. But when you mint something, MetaMoose, it's awesome. So
Oh.
yeah. So we with NFTs, we mint them. Is the
does
way
that
to
mean?
best understand minting is
I
it's like an
chocolate mints.
embedded certificate of
It's a
authenticity.
code.
That's not totally it,
Right.
but it's coding within the fibers of the image.
Right.
You
So
don't see it.
You can't replicate that. There's
It's-
one,
it's
and you
coded
can
in the
tell, and you
blockchain.
can tell
Yeah.
if it's real
Right.
via the blockchain,
Right.
authenticated.
Correct.
Yeah.
So more blockchain technology.
You wanna
Blockchain is the
know-
center of everything.
The ironic part of NFTs.
No.
You know what the file name is that describes all of that data for the metadata for the NFT?
I don't think it's not a PDF.
Nope, it's a JSON file.
It's a JSON.
So just so you know,
I don't get it.
JSON.
I don't
Jason.
get it.
It's a
JSON.
JSON file.
So?
I am a file.
Mhm.
I'm.
Oh wait a minute, your
famous.
name's Jason.
Wait,
Yeah.
what? Why are we here?
How did
What
I
just
get here?
happened?
I don't even.
Where'd we
live
find
around
this
here.
All right, all
How do
right.
you guys know me?
Let's start over. No.
Cut.
So basically, the NFT
cool.
is proof of ownership.
So wait a minute, this guy owns everything.
The right,
Centralization.
yeah, exactly. The metadata for
Mhm.
each is held in the JSON file. I just thought it's kind of fun.
That is
but-
cool.
So basically, you take this image, or the other nice thing, for music, I think it's going to be the greatest thing for NFTs, because basically what you do is the contract, this metadata that describes this, you can release an album, and you don't need a recording contract.
Right.
So your
Cuts out the middleman.
royalties stay with the artist.
Yes.
And so if you do videos, you do music, you do anything, you are tagged as the original artist like Van Gogh,
Right.
but you actually get the royalties from that purchase.
Right.
And so that's coded in what we call a smart contract. So a smart contract is a contract on the blockchain that they, when you want to do anything with this file, this image, this music, whatever, if you want to sell it, that executes that smart contract, which then goes to the oracles. The oracles are not
You're
people.
getting in deep here. We're having to explain what an oracle is,
I'm getting
and what
there.
a smart contract is, but that's great.
I'm getting
Yeah,
there.
that's awesome.
Yeah. So the oracles are actually programs on the blockchain on the internet that are not controlled by anybody. They will execute the smart contract to a T. They don't cheat. They don't change it. They just execute the smart contract and return the amount of money, whatever it was. They transfer the money of wherever the sale was to the exact address it belongs. So it's you can't really like upload it on Napster and then just download it 100,000 times.
Right, which
Does-
has been happening, and that's the
Does
downfall.
Napster still
of-
exist? It was LimeWire when I was growing up.
Oh, it's
Mm.
Apple Music. It's
Yeah,
I
so-
mean, it's just even when people pay for the money nowadays, I mean, these platforms are getting all the money.
Mhm.
The artists
yeah.
get next to nothing, and that's
Unless
the
you're
big
Taylor
thing.
Swift.
Ugh,
She
well,
has great contracts.
well,
She
because
has great lawyers.
She knows what she's doing. A
Yeah.
lot of people don't, because
Right.
sadly, a lot of musicians don't have any business sense.
Oh, yeah. I mean, just look at
Creatives.
it's got like music. If you look back, obviously you've been interested in music. I used to do some diddling here and there, but like the equipment in Guitar Center was where you went when it
Yes.
first came out,
Yep.
and the equipment there was just stupid expensive.
Oh yeah.
Like to get anything now, literally you could pick up a crossover, you can pick up a microphone and a bridge to your computer with a USB and,
Yeah.
and a normal. You could literally drop an album
Right.
with
From your
about
room.
$500
From
maybe,
your living room.
and
and,
have it like if you're good, like have it actually be amazing and distributed easily. Anyway, so that's
Yeah.
the point of it. That's
Technology.
where NFT is extremely important
Yes.
and is going to be the future, absolutely 100% the future, because we can make music, and you see it all the time on TikTok, on YouTube, all these people making their songs. They're absolute bangers, and literally the record
Record
companies are watching all these,
Yes.
and they are calling these artists up and be like, "We want a record deal with you,"
because they want money from them.
right? And so then they're like, "Oh my god!" Like as you grew up as a musician, what was that one call you wanted to hear? Atlantic Records is on the phone, want to do a like, oh yeah,
Right.
but in the end, you're only really getting 10% of your actual royalties.
Exactly.
And so,
Because you needed them back then.
right,
There was
because
no
they would
streaming
front,
services,
yeah,
there was
exactly.
nothing. Nowadays, it's almost like you don't need them anymore.
You only need a production company if you go on the road, if you travel and do shows and stuff.
I mean, even then, you can do it all in house. There's so many ways nowadays. You know, it's
But, and
so
that's the point.
cool.
Like you literally can go to like you don't even have to leave your house. Like Amazon will deliver to your door, whatever,
Yeah.
and you know, and $500 and you have a whole studio.
So I feel like
You
a lot
make
of
your music, and then you attach it with an NFT,
yes,
and then when you then sell it, all of the money comes back to you.
automatically, and that's
all
where
the time.
smart contracts really come into play. And smart contracts are not just in NFTs; they're in services. You can use them anywhere, and that's what I'm super excited about. Smart contracts, any smart contract play, because it takes the error out, takes the human out, it takes the greed out.
If you've ever dealt with any normal real life contract,
It's terrible.
you
Well, it's
literally
so
have
funky.
every lawyer can read it one specific different way.
Yeah.
That's where the oracles are like amazing because they literally are a program.
Yeah, they don't have
And they
emotions.
will read the contract as it was intended.
Yep.
And it will be executed as it was intended and written. And there's no lawyer that you paid $30,000 to interpret it the way you want it to be interpreted. It is interpreted appropriately as written. And so that's the huge thing with NFTs and smart contracts. This is truly the future of everything. And you know where we're going to be, you know, in the next 5, 10, 15 years with most industries, most entertainment industries, I think, and everything. Like, you know, you have programs too. If you want to if you code some app, throw an NFT on it, so you know you don't have to go through the app store or whatever.
I mean, those are decentralized apps too, and that's why I'm excited about these smart contract platforms. You know, Ethereum is the biggest one at this point, and then there's a bunch of other ones that are coming out that are just solving different problems. And you know, a lot of times I think this is kind of getting deeper. There's a lot of people out there saying, "Oh, this thing's going to kill this," it's like there's room in the market for everyone.
Right.
If you have a quality product, and I mean, you go out. I mean, there's not one super grocery store out there. There's not one tire store out there. They all can be successful, and that's
There's not one
thing.
car type out
There's
there.
not one car type. No, exactly.
Right.
I mean, and that's the beauty of decentralization. That's the beauty of, and I feel like it brings a lot of creativity to the table. There's so much to be had in this technology right now.
I would say these contracts are very smart.
Yeah. Hence the name, right?
I think that
we should come up with one called a dumb contract and see how much.
Right. So
it will misinterpret it on purpose.
So basically, no. So like
human, right?
a dumb contract is a smart contract. You made an error in the code.
Exactly.
You
It's
forgot your semicolons, and so you didn't close your brackets. So like that's
where I have no idea about that stuff.
No, so like, you know, the thing is we actually kind of started this whole rant with we're starting on an NFT project called MetaMOOSE, and so basically it's a unique picture. We programmed an algorithm that actually takes different layers that we designed, puts them together into a specific unique picture, which, you know, you can see these same projects, very similar idea out there on OpenSea.io, and see what the projects are doing. So this project is unique in it that we are actually going to be programming the smart contract upon minting that 100 random individuals.
Yeah,
that is fantastic.
Because you see, if you know anything about NFTs or if you followed it, you know, obviously these projects they start like they sell 0.04 Ethereum in general, which is around $180 depending on the market, $120 to $180.
Most people can,
yeah, and that's like, okay, cool. And then you see these projects within about a month, they're selling for 1, 2, 3, 10 Ethereum. So you're talking $43,000 after you spend $120.
And who's getting all those royalties?
And exactly. So if the royalty on that coin or on that NFT rather is set at 25%, and you sell, and you sell for 4,300, you're getting 3,300 because 1,000 basically went back to the original creator.
That keeps giving. It's like a collectible. You have this baseball card, and normally in regular life, you take the baseball card, you take it to the pawn shop or wherever, collector, and you sell, and that's all the money you'd make. And then any transaction past that,
It's theirs.
That's theirs, or it passes on.
And you have
But-
to go out of the house. I don't know. I don't like it.
Exactly.
You can do this all from your couch.
Exactly.
You don't
Don't
even have to
even-
wear pants.
You don't have to move, no pants, nothing.
No,
You have
said
to
my
type
knee-
on
I'm
the
So I
working
think
keyboard,
the big point with this, right? There is a learning curve. Like if you're gonna do this, you need to understand some things. Like if you want to just buy some crypto to get in the game, that's easy. Like
think
the
it's
only
best
risk
way to
there is
kinda get in.
financial.
Right.
But like if you get into
Then
NFTs,
you're not going to lose your life, just your
right,
money.
right. So if you get into NFTs though, what NFTs do really is give the power back to the creators.
Yes.
Right.
Absolutely.
So like you as a musician, like getting signed used to be like the pinnacle
Right.
of like, right? Because then you're just like, I'm set. Now, I mean, there is some comfort in that
Right.
you have that consistency, but there's also this aspect of now with NFTs, you have the ability to record all your stuff at home with pretty near quality of what they can do,
Right.
and you can mint that, and you get all of it, and it takes that
know,
studio out.
Thing like so, every sale you are getting, if you're the one of the luckies. And the other thing I forgot to mention, if you actually are one of the lucky people of 100, you actually get your purchase price refunded. So we don't actually charge you for that NFT.
Mhm.
Wow.
So you pay for the gas fees, which are like $10,
Yeah.
$5, something like that. So that's we really this is to build knowledge, build the community, and
Mhm.
kind of give back. We're also going to donate 20% of our winnings, if you will, of our earnings to mental health awareness and treatment too. Because
Wow.
again, like Van Gogh had his paintings to get his mental illness out. But not everybody has outlets, and we need more funding for that. So that's the other aspect of this is truly giving back to the community, because like we said before, community exists because the community exists.
Yes.
If there is no community, there is no community. Sounds dumb, but
No, that's
if there is no
that's-
community, there's no community. So this is our way of trying to give back to the community in the ways that we see in our lives where it's underfunded, and also to the same fact, getting these people in, somebody may say $120 to $180 is a lot of money, and if you're one of the lucky ones, you spend $5 and then you may make hundreds of $1,000s on it. Like literally, we don't guarantee anything. That obviously a project lives and dies with the community around it.
Mhm.
Right. But that's amazing. I had no idea you guys were doing that.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, so I
We're
mean,
full of surprises.
I know you are.
yeah, I mean, I don't want to like my first job I dealt with psych. I worked as a nurse in a psych facility, so breaking ground. I'm a nurse, so right, mental health. That's where we're going. So so I think that
Good segue.
we have a passion for that, right? Like, because I really think that mental health is very misunderstood, and in our culture, I mean, I'm sure there's other cultures too, but I live here, so I know this culture, is that mental illness is not looked at the same way as physical illness. Very compassionate about physical ailments. You see someone that's in a wheelchair, you're like, that's unfortunate, I feel bad for them. But if you see someone who has depression, there's unfortunately a really bad stigma about it.
Mhm.
People think that mental illness, it means that you're unstable and you're unfit to do things. And that's usually the opposite. Like I think that we all are given certain things that happen to us, and that helps us to excel in other areas. So from my faith background, at least, I feel like like I've struggled with depression. I went through a lot of stuff being a nurse through COVID, but I feel like what that's done for me is helped me to really understand suffering. So, like we just need to help people understand these things, because that's not something I was taught in school, right? Like this is what you learn through going through therapy and counseling and working with other healthcare providers. So mental illness for me is a really big passion. So I'm really excited about that portion of this
I
project.
think the thing is like if you buy a vehicle and they wired it wrong, do you throw away the full vehicle or do you fix the wiring problem?
Mm-hmm.
And that's mental health. Like obviously we can't go and rewire your brain. I mean, we can try, but I don't know. And Elon's working on something like that. But like, that's the thing. Like the people with mental health, ADHD, autism, and all of these different things, like you're just built different, right? Like you're just built different. It doesn't mean you're bad. It's just you have a couple extra chemicals in your brain and a couple lack of chemicals in your brain, and we just need to regulate that. And we can't rewire it. You were just born that way. It makes you special.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why we want to give back. We
Yeah.
want to give back, and this isn't about get rich quick and trying to
No.
make money. Sure, we want to make money so that we can build our community and help our community
Mhm.
to get the knowledge out there, and that's where this is going to be. Like, we're going to have videos specifically addressing the things that we talked about that you have no idea what we said. We're going to be very specific. We're going to kind of walk you through, how do I get into crypto? Like, what are you talking about? Like I like the idea, but I have no idea where to start. No problem. We're going to have something on that. Then you're like, okay, well, we want to do NFT, but I have no idea what this MetaMask thing is you're talking about. Okay, no problem. We'll talk about that. We will go from 0 to 100 on all of this stuff for you guys.
Yeah. I think that the whole goal with this is that it's something we're excited about. And when you're excited about something, you want other people to be excited about it, right? Because like when you know how fun it is to drive a Ferrari, you're like, I want
Have
my
you driven a
buddies to.
Ferrari?
No, I
And
wish.
how do you know?
Well, I've seen them and I've heard them. And
Vroom, vroom.
no, so the whole idea with DNJ Crypto is this is something that Jason and I have just been doing because it's something we enjoy, and so we've been
Too
doing
much.
that. Huh?
We enjoy it too much.
We do enjoy it, maybe too
Yeah.
much.
We've been
But
called.
it's a passion. It's exciting.
It's a healthy enjoyment.
It's a
we-
distraction.
Multiple people were rolling their eyes at us.
Oh, for
They're like,
sure.
ugh, those nerds are talking about
Right?
nerd stuff.
I can set
And-
another finger in my hand of people I know that
You
are
know?
into this stuff.
Yeah,
When you think
Seriously,
about it,
it's
there's
very
not a
rare.
ton.
you're gonna need more fingers.
Yeah. It's gonna get.
Okay.
So that's the thing. It is more rare right now, right?
Yeah.
But like people looked at Steve Jobs and Bill Gates back
Yeah.
then,
Yep.
like
Yes.
they were wasting
Who
their
needs the
time
internet?
too.
What's the
Now I'm not
internet? Yeah.
comparing us to Steve Jobs and Bill Gates by any means.
I think the other thing we need to talk about is a lot of people get super intimidated by the price of, let's say, Bitcoin.
Sure.
Right? That was the original. That
Mm.
was, and we also definitely need to get into like the roles of different cryptos. They're not
Sure.
all the same. And the thing is, people have to realize we're still early. We're still very,
Mhm.
very, very, very early. And
And the price doesn't. So the price doesn't matter. So when you look at the price, though, understand that a Bitcoin's, I don't know, $60,000
But
right
it's
now,
only
or 50 something
limited, yeah.
now. But you do not need to put in $50,000 to
you-
invest.
no,
You can put $1 in. You can
Yes.
put $100 in. It is not. It's not like a stock where you have to buy the whole stock. It
No.
is literally portioned. You can own.
Satoshis.
Right. You can own like a hundredth or a millionth of a Bitcoin.
Yes,
Mhm.
yes.
Yeah, and I think that there's your primary coins is what I
Mhm.
call them. I mean, there's
Big caps,
large
caps,
I mean, you've got your Bitcoins, your Ethereums, and then you have all your other coins. And
mid
I think
caps.
if you're looking at investing, a good thing would be like a majority of your stuff I would put in these coins that are
Not financial advice.
No, not financial advice.
no.
We have
This
no
is
idea
what
we're
we would
talking
do
about.
if we were doing.
You're gonna
this.
actually lose all
Would-
your money doing all this.
Well,
but,
this
you know,
this is what I'm doing.
Yeah.
This is not what I'm telling you to do. So I think that I keep my stuff primarily the largest portion in Ethereum.
Yes.
And then I spread out a small portion because I don't want to miss out on the gains of the potentials
who
of some of these
does?
others, And so that's the thing. But the one thing I would tell people, though, that are getting into this is don't put money into this that you can't afford to lose.
Yes.
Like if it's like I need to make money so I can afford bills,
Mm.
this is
Oh,
not
no.
what you need to
No,
get
no,
into
No.
because you're gonna
You're
get
gonna
yourself
be-
in trouble.
You're gonna be
Don't
homeless and
borrow
without
money.
electricity.
Don't take out a refinance for this.
No.
Don't use your credit. Well, no. Yeah, don't use your credit card for
No.
this.
Don't do anything that we say ever,
Mm-mm.
Don't do anything
other than maybe
we would do. Right.
eat yourself in a MetaMoose.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would buy a MetaMoose for sure. But so we're
Mega
excited about this, right?
MetaMoose.
Like I think this is a really exciting time to be
Yeah.
in the crypto world, which is unfortunate because I think there's a lot of stuff going on outside of tech right now that's very discouraging.
Yes.
So I personally am really enjoying this, and that there's a portion of the community of those of us that are interested in this, that there's something to be excited about. And
When the gas prices are more than the gas fees of Ethereum,
Hmm.
that's scary.
it's not good. It's expensive.
Is it?
Did I blow your mind? It's crazy.
So
Digital gas is cheaper than physical.
this seems like a good time to wrap this topic up. I think that if you go to our
He's like,
website,
you guys are done.
No,
Shut off.
DNJ
no,
Crypto.
so like we can't
Yeah,
just
I
do the
know.
entire topic of crypto because we won't stop. And so
Get it.
So DNJCrypto.com, there are multiple places to get a hold of us. There's a contact us thing that pops up right away. But I think that the best ways to keep up, I think number one personally, what I would say is the Discord.
Discord server.
Our Discord
The
server.
link is on the website.
It is.
It's at the top. It's in the menu.
Yes.
There's also a merch
It's
store
in the
if you're
drop down
interested.
menu. I actually just joined.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Did you check out the merch store?
Yeah, I looked at it. It's all cool.
Pretty
stuff.
cool.
It's
Merch store's
awesome.
pretty neat.
Yeah.
Check out the cell phone cases.
Oh, yeah.
And you know what? For those of you who like Christmas sweaters, we've got one. Check out the Christmas
Cell phone
sweater.
case.
Cell phone case.
Have you? Does
MetaMoose.
it protect your phone?
I haven't
Pretty well.
broken it
It
yet.
looks cool.
Sure does.
Yeah.
Heck yeah.
So yeah, DNJCrypto.com. If you have questions, feel free to email
This
us.
just-
Contact us if you have questions. The whole goal of this is to make crypto mining and NFTs attainable for everyone.
And to make friends. 'Cause there's a lot of people actually buying it because it looks cool. They have no idea what they're talking about. They have no idea what an NFT, a crypto, or
It
anything.
starts the
But they
conversation.
want to know,
Mhm.
right? All of these people that are buying in, they literally are like, when are you going to post a video on how any of this works?
Mhm.
Like, all of these people are like, we want to know now.
That's amazing.
And I'm like, okay.
Now you're gonna get to know.
This is it. So contact us. Go to our
We're
website,
sober.
dnjcrypto.com. Join the Discord. Join the Twitter. And follow us on YouTube. And if you have any questions, get a hold of us. This is Simon. Simon is probably going to come back and hang out with us.
Yeah.
Probably-
virtually.
Maybe not in person. Maybe, though. We might do a broadcast in Nashville.
Oh, and we're going to have a TikTok channel eventually, too.
That'd
So
be
Ooh. Bolo.
Get back
somebody
on
might
that.
have to get back on the
Dang.
Be on the
TikTok.
lookout.
Dang it.
So, I don't have anything else to talk about. I think this is, what do you
That's
think?
bull. I think you do, but
I mean, we have plenty.
Oh,
I have
we
a
could
feel
go on for
if
hours.
anybody still is here,
I'm
like if anybody
impressed.
still is watching, like I owe
Goodbye.
you a drink.
If you want to watch this video and, have yourself a pour of bourbon and feel like you're hanging out with us, do it.
Yeah.
If you want to hate on it, do it too. I don't even know what it
Hate on it. We like the
Any publicity
encouragement.
is good.
Yeah,
So I think this is
it's eye opening.
all good things.
It is.
All good things.
Eye opening. So we're gonna end this one and maybe start a new one with some bourbon in it. So it's gonna get crazy, a
Woo-hoo-hoo!
Let's do it.
little funky.
D&J Crypto After Dark.
.com. All right, thanks. Thanks for hanging out. If
Thanks,
you actually
everyone.
made it this far, we appreciate it.
Yes.
And show your support. Give us a a subscribe,
Mm.
a like, high five, some merch, some whatever you want.
Share us
Uh,
with your friends.
Our MetaMask wallet is on Twitter if you want to donate to us for whatever reason. You don't have to, obviously.
Not opposed.
But
This is still our first video. I see this as a win.
It is.
all right.
Good job, guys.
Good night or good day. Good eye.
Good
Buenas
eye.
noches.
DNJ Crypto.